Critics claim that this Hebrew term, almah, does not refer to a virgin, but just a young maiden. Thus, they argue, Isaiah really was not predicting Jesus' virgin birth. Is this the case? While the Hebrew term almah does not explicitly mean virgin, it was probably the best term to refer to one in the Hebrew language. Brown writes, while the word almah can refer to a virgin, it does not specifically mean virgin. Its basic meaning is primarily related to adolescence, not sexual chastity. Critics often claim that Isaiah could have used the Hebrew word bethulah if he wanted to refer to a virgin. However, Brown observes, there is no single word in biblical Hebrew that always and only means virgin. As for the Hebrew word bethulah, while it often refers to a virgin in the Hebrew scriptures, more often than not it has no reference to virginity but simply means young woman, maiden. In fact, out of the 50 times the word bethulah occurs in the Tanakh, the New Jewish Publication Society version translates it as maiden rather than virgin. 31 times. This means that more than 3 out of every 5 times that bethulah occurs in the Hebrew Bible, it is translated as maiden rather than virgin by the most widely used Jewish translation of our day. In fact, the word bethulah is used of a widow in Joel chapter 1 verse 8, who could hardly be a virgin. When bethulah is used in Genesis chapter 24 verse 16 and Judges chapter 21 verse 12, the authors add the phrase had never known a man and had not known a man. Why add these phrases, unless the term bethulah was not clear enough on its own? The only way to understand if a woman was a virgin was by the context. Therefore, while almah does not explicitly mean virgin, it was the best Hebrew word to describe one given the context. Walter Kaiser notes that the Old Testament authors never once used the word almah to describe a married woman. Consider the 6 other times that the Old Testament uses the term almah. Genesis chapter 24 verse 43. Rebekah was a virgin at the time, and she was unmarried before she met Isaac. Exodus chapter 2 verse 8. Miriam was a virgin at this time, and she was a very young girl. Psalms chapter 68 verse 25. The women in the royal procession were all virgins. Song of Songs chapter 1 verse 3. The text doesn't say if these women are virgins or not, but the context is marital purity. Song of Songs chapter 6 verse 8. This word is contrasted with married women and concubines. Proverbs chapter 30 verses 18 to 19. The word is used in contrast to the adulteress in verse 20. Matthew quoted Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14 from the Septuagint, which was the standard Greek translation at the time. In the Septuagint, the term almah is translated with the Greek word parthenos, which literally meant virgin. Therefore, Matthew was not trying to be deceitful, instead, he was using the standard translation of his day. To conclude, while the term almah does not exclusively mean virgin, it is certainly compatible with virginity, especially when we see that there was no other Hebrew term to use that would be any better. Kaiser writes, when all the passages in the Old Testament with almah are investigated, the only conclusion one can arrive at is that it means a virgin here. To date, no one has produced a clear context, either in Hebrew or in the closely related Canaanite language, where almah can be applied to a married woman. Moreover, the definite article on this word does not speak of any virgin, but of the virgin, a special one whom God has in mind. Fritz Enbaum writes, this word is used 7 times in the Hebrew scriptures, and not once is it used to describe a married woman. This point is not debated. Kaiser writes, the word almah, the virgin, has caused much debate. The Septuagint, as did Matthew chapter 1 verse 23. The Old Testament used by Jesus chose the Greek noun parthenos, a word that has the specific meaning of virgin,